Very good. All right. Good morning, all. Let's call the meeting to order. 10 a.m. Present are directors Rob Leonard, Mark Lemon, Arnold Harper, and Walter Domalewski. Absent is Daniel Waldman.
Wait, what I just there we go.
Great. So we have a quorum. The quorum is established. We have proof of notice. Zelda, did you post the meeting?
What's that?
Did you post the meeting for us?
Can I post it?
Did you? A couple weeks?
Sorry, my audio sucks. Yes, it did.
Okay.
I move that we start calling her Zelda from now on.
Hey, that works for me.
I like Zelda Claire.
I do too.
Okay. So I guess we need to approve the previous minutes that Mark had sent along with the agenda for the meeting. Does anybody want to waive the reading, or would you like them read?
I think we waived the reading.
A second.
Support. I'll take that as a motion and support.
All right. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I don't get to vote.
Waive the reading. It is also online to look at these taped meetings, right? Okay. So first agenda item would be old business, which it seems we have a lot. Where would we like to start?
Let's just run down the agenda.
Okay. Which I'm having a hard time finding.
Number 1 is south building roof.
South building. Okay. So south building roof is, I guess we're just waiting for the rainy season to end before it gets actually scheduled, as far as I understand it. Zelda, Claire's, your leak is no longer leaking at the moment, yes?
That is, after the second round, that is correct.
Okay, good. Unfortunately, it took 2 rounds, but at least it's not leaking now.
Yes, I thank you for that.
I mean, I am definitely all for getting it done as soon as possible, but I don't want them ripping off the roof and having it pour rain in. So I don't think we should be applying any pressure. I believe Galloway will do it when they feel it's time to do it. Anybody want to speak on the issue?
I mean, does anybody, have you heard if anybody else was having leaking issues, roof issues?
There has been none reported to management nor the board for the south, well, for the west building. Excuse me, west or south. The other building is a different issue. The north building.
Well, obviously, I'm all for postponing it because I don't want the roof ripped off either during a hurricane season. And as long as there are no leaks, I don't see what the problem waiting would be.
I'm certainly not postponing. I'm just going with the roofer's recommendation, which is not really pull it off tomorrow. So I don't know the weather forecast down there, and I know it's rainy season. I know there's cycles with the way rains come and go, but I guess they need, what, a 2-week window or a 10-day window to really do it efficiently. So we'll still put a call into them and ask them, but I think at this point it's just a waiting game.
The prudent thing would be to wait till after the rainy season.
Yeah, probably so.
Because you're never going to get a 10-day window. I mean, it could be beautiful, and then it can pour, like, you know, the clouds have opened for 10 minutes, and then it's beautiful again. So
we could also have a hurricane come in with an inferior roof. Yeah. So for some reason, to not wait that long. But, you know, points taken. No, nobody wants to damage the interior and pull off a roof and have rain come in. But I don't know if we should say just wait and then let a hurricane rip that roof off. So
Oh,
I guess Galloway knows what they're doing.
I think we hired a professional, and we should stick with their recommendations at this point. The rest of the board agree?
I would agree.
I would agree.
I'm just a little concerned. Are they going to put back the downpipes on the two that have had repairs to the stucco and the cement slabs? I mean, if we're going to be waiting to get re-roofed, those downpipes are missing. And
I talked to them yesterday, Diane. They're going to come out tomorrow. I mean, Monday to put them back.
oh, okay, the downpipes.
Yes,
Okay, good.
Wonderful. Thank you for that, Joe.
you're welcome.
Okay, what's the next item we have here, Mr. Secretary?
The outdoor flood damage, Joe's project.
In progress.
Are you
That's
satisfied with the progress so far, Joe?
So far, yes.
Joe,
I hear-
you were going to promise us all pictures.
I have pictures, Walter, but I also talked with Josh from WSV, and he's informed me that he sent you some pictures. So do you want me to double it up?
Yes, because he has not.
Oh, interesting.
Not
All
to
right.
say that I couldn't reach out for him, but no, I've heard that the concrete work was completed. I have not seen any photos from anybody.
I'll drop them in the Dropbox or in Google Drive.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great. Joe, you and I went through that process, so we should have no problem.
Right.
Excellent.
Anything else, Joe, on your project? You're all good with what's going on at this point?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm working with Josh. It's moving along. I'm satisfied.
Okay, wonderful. Next, Mr. Secretary.
Mangrove trees.
On the, I believe it was the 26th, I sent an email to Marianne to have Joshua Tree remove the trees for the $365 they quoted. I would assume if the trees are still there, we're just waiting on scheduling through Joshua Tree.
Okay, I'll get on top of that.
Okay.
Okay.
Josh.
Next, north building roof.
Okay. From what I understand, or I'm understanding, there doesn't seem to be any issues with the roof. It's more with the lack of gutters, according to Daniel, who was just there in town. Apparently, he has had some moisture issues in his rear wall, but he said that the ceiling is dry and he doesn't believe it's coming from the ceiling, is what he has told me. He went out and solicited a bid to put gutters on, and this Cape Coral seamless gutters seem to think they could put some gutters on that'll work for somewhat of a reasonable price. I have my reservations, as we discussed before, as every other gutter company's either withdrawn their price or declined to bid because of that flashing on the building. From what I understand from Daniel, they're planning on removing the screws from the flashing, tucking the gutter up behind the flashing, and then reattaching. I'm just not sure how they can reattach putting screws inside of the gutter through the flashing, where the gutter is made to hold water and carry water. It just seems like it's going to be a leak in the future or immediately. I would just want to question them on how they're attaching it and making sure it's going to be done properly, because it is an interesting situation.
Especially seamless gutters.
Well, I mean, when they say seamless, that means the run is going to be seamless. All the elbows and connections are not seamless. So, you know, if you look at the video that they provided as they walked along the back of the building, the gutter guy's comment was there's a lot of turns and elbows, twists and turns, I think was his word.
Right.
And there are, and it's a I am not an expert by any means, and I will take the expert's advice. But so far, every expert I've spoken to has hesitated to put anything up there because we don't know what's behind that flashing. We don't even know if there's anything for the gutter to attach to behind that flashing. I guess one way to figure it out is to hire someone to put gutters up and see if they can actually do it. I think according to their proposal, it's a 40% deposit. So worst case scenario, it's $4,000 if they fail, and if we can't recoup our deposit. I'm not sure what to say there. Are the board members going to get some comments?
Well, I mean, I think it's a fair price if they can do it for that.
Yeah. That was just a deposit.
Well, no, it's a $10,000 project. And yeah, it's not, doesn't seem overpriced if they can do it. And I guess if they say they can, we take their word for it, but we did that with that roof and we're in a mess there.
Well, hopefully they give us a warranty that we can trust this time and pay attention to what we're actually getting when we think.
Yeah, I'm not concerned with the new roof as much. You know, this roof, we have it. We're stuck with it, it seems. So far, the roof hasn't failed. I was hoping the roof would fail and we could get them back under warranty to take a look at it. But it's not really in their contract to do an inspection after a year like it is in our new contract for the new roof. So,
and I sent you guys an email a couple of weeks ago. I do recommend that even if we have to pay them, that we get a year inspection on that roof. As I recall, part of the warranty that we get from the roofing supplier, I forgot what's the name of the material.
GAF.
GAF is that it gets inspected. So in order to keep the warranty.
The warranty that you put up on the drive that you found in the final package from Florida Home Contractors from GAF, the 20-year warranty, that is what I went to GAF with. And they said, oh yeah, you know, anybody can go online and print one of these out and fill it out. It is for the membrane, and they will warranty the membrane, but it's only for the membrane failure. There's no labor, there's no anything, and the membrane doesn't fail, the workmanship fails.
Right.
So I mean, basically the roof on the building we're getting ready to do with Galloway carries the full warranty from GAF, where they will cover the labor and everything, not just the membrane. But this basic warranty that we do have is only for the membrane, not for its installation, not for the way they join it. It's just, you know, it's the actual failure of the membrane itself. And the membrane doesn't fail. That's why they have no problem putting the warranty on the membrane. I mean, if it fails, it's because something's going to go through it in a storm, or it's going to rip off the building. But that would be workmanship and installation. And they, you know, best case scenario is they might give us a new membrane, but that's unlikely at that because installation failed. So we don't really have a warranty per se on that roof. We have a 1-year workmanship warranty from the installer, and so far the installation has not failed on us. We could have them come inspect it, and they may say, oh, well, yeah, this is going, we can fix this, it'll cost you X, or we'll do it under warranty. I guess we have about 4 days left, according to their final inspection.
Yes. Well, all right. I'm going to make a motion that we, and I think they're called Florida Home Contractors.
Correct.
I'm making a motion that we hire Florida Home Contractors to come back and do a 1-year inspection.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 At least we know where we're at that point, right? So
That's right. Yeah, I'm taking notes.
Motion carries unanimously. So we will contact Florida Home Contractors, roof inspection, 1 year.
And who's going to physically do that?
I am physically going to send an email to Palmer Management to order that.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Anything else on this roof at this point? Do we want to discuss the gutters more, or do we want to discuss the gutters separately again?
Well, I apologize for jumping with a different motion in the middle of our gutter conversation. I don't think we need 3 quotes. I think that we've asked, to your point, we've had many other companies that have tried to quote it in the past or refused or backed off on it. So I think we're covered on that.
I agree.
I agree.
I would not. I would be remiss if I did not say that we need to actually check on the work of the people that we're potentially hiring.
Yes, we should make sure that they have their proper licensing in order and but that's automatic, I think, before hiring anybody.
Yeah.
And what they warrant. I mean, what do they warrant?
Yeah, it is kind of very vague in those aspects. If it doesn't work and the water pours over it and doesn't catch it, or it leaks back behind it, what is the warranty? So I think that we should go back to Cape Coral Seamless Gutters and ask them for a little bit more details. Before pulling the trigger on it. Also, where is the money going to come from that? Are we just going to pull it from unallocated reserves? It's not really a budgeted item. I'm not saying we don't have the money. And maybe we should talk a little bit about the money we've spent and what we have. We've sorry. From my calculations, we should have about $110,000 still in unallocated reserve funds from insurance proceeds after we pay for the projects we've already gotten started. I don't have the actual numbers in front of me, but that's still a substantial amount of money.
I can tell you that I spoke with David Palmer a couple of weeks ago. He has about the same number in his head. He called me up to tell me that, around 100. He did say, and I agree with him completely, let's not run that down to 0 like we have in the past. I wasn't here. I don't know when that happened, but I guess at one point we had like $5 in the bank account.
Well, that's somewhat true. It's only because they didn't transfer the money from one account. But
so I feel like this, I treat this business like I would treat my home. I'd like to have 90 days at least in the bank at all times. The burn rate here is somewhere between $8,000 and $10,000 a month. So I think if we had a floor of $30,000 in the account, it would make me feel comfortable. The other advantage to that is if, for example, we get an insurance bill, we can pay it in full. We don't have to pay it in installments and have to pay
say financing.
Yeah, right. So given those two numbers, I'd say we've got about 70, let's say 70 to work with. I have to tell you, I had no problem with this gutter project. The other project I think we need to tackle sooner rather than later are windows upstairs. I think we're finding that every time one of these windows we get into this, we've got leaks inside the walls as a result of the windows.
I don't disagree that the window should be a priority project. I personally am a little hesitant to spend any kind of reserves or money that we have on the windows, because I don't see how we can make it fair to those that have already replaced their windows and paid for it themselves. How do we do the math to break all that down to all of a sudden have this? I'm just,
Well, so far, who've replaced their windows?
Well, there would be you, right? And
Nancy?
Daniel and Nancy, I guess. Yeah. 3. So if we replace all the other windows and you guys have already paid for yours, how do we compensate you guys for using your share of the money to do that?
Well, there are 2 ways, obviously. The one is you take the total amount to replace all the windows and you divide it by the number of units, and then you would refund or reimburse us for that amount. Or you say, you replaced your windows, good for you. I did not expect to be, much as I would love to be compensated, and I can't vote on this, but I did not expect to be. My bigger concern was rot inside the building, in my walls, and mold, and the fear that.
All right, so if we have numerous projects that we want to do, okay, so we're going to write off doing the lanai roofs to do the windows. I would be more on board with, let's spend our 70,000, keeping our 30,000 cushion on the other projects like the lanai roofs. And if the board decides to do the windows, do an assessment for the windows. That way only the remaining people that need windows would pay the assessment. I don't know that I want or we need to go assessment, but if we can't do all the projects and we're going to end up assessing for something somewhere along the line, because we'll never save the money to redo the lanais without an assessment. So, yeah, if we're going to end up doing an assessment sooner or later, why not it be for the windows and not the lanais? Are you following what I'm saying, or?
I follow, and I would respectfully say that it's a difference of opinion of which is more important, lanais or windows.
Well, which is more important? We could do them all now. I mean, we as a board could say that these windows have to be replaced. We do not have the money to replace them. Or we could put it to everybody and ask the entire association. I just don't like spending this insurance money that we collected for doing roofs, basically, on things that we didn't collect it for. It is. We're getting the
point. That's a fair point, frankly. You're honest. I dislike that about you right now, and I like that about you both at the same time.
Well, I mean, this is a discussion, and
Sure.
Sometimes I'm devil's advocate, but I want everybody's opinion on it, and I could go either way without a doubt. I'm for spending the money and making the improvements on the complex. I just wanted to be fair for everybody.
Well, I think I like your idea. We should we should poll the owners and see what they prefer, since they'll be paying the assessments. Do they want an assessment on the lanais, or do they want an assessment on the windows, and give them, a ballpark what we think we're going to assess people?
So I think what we really got to do is work up. And, I haven't spent the time. I am going to have a little bit more time now that my season is finally, coming to the second trimester here. But we need to make up a budget and see what we have left. After we do the roof, worst case scenario, I think it was 67,000. Okay, after we're done with the concrete work and fixing the stucco work.
And we're also going to have wall repair in my unit.
We're going to have some drywall repairs. But if we spent the money on the lanais, which we have a price on, right? Josh gave us one. What was that, 36,000 or something? Or was that per building?
I don't remember. I'm drawing a blank right now.
But all right, so that's why we need to jot it all down. I mean, if we're only talking with 36 and 40, we're 80. We're already over with the lanais, and we wouldn't have money left over. But how much money do we need left over if we do all the repairs? And we need to see how much we need to spend to do all the windows and how much we have to spend, and make ourselves up a budget here.
Well, my point to Josh was to ask him for a quote for the windows. We recall that the windows, I believe we'd gotten a quote last year or so, like $7,000 per unit. So if we take that times, how many units do we have total? 15?
15, I guess there's 11 left to do then.
So 15.
My windows were done in 16 regarding the insurance and what have you when my place was flooded. I don't know where I stand, but that needs to be taken note of.
So, right. So the three in the north building, there's Mark's, Daniel's, and Nancy's, and then one in your building, right? Yours. So
are there 15 units total?
Yeah, there's 15 units total, so that leaves 11. So 11
times 7 is 77. So we're at 80,000 minimum.
So
that's and to finish my point, that is why I asked WSV if there was a coating we could put on top of the lanais that would last us for a few years until we could build up the reserves to replace the lanais. Because I think if everybody's lanais just didn't leak, people would be happy. I don't think it's an issue of the screens being bad and anything else. They just don't want the water in.
Right.
Okay.
He's checking on that. There are actually products, before I asked him that question, there are actually products that you can spray onto the roofs of the lanais in Florida or roll on.
I'm sure they could do the poly foam like what we used to have on the buildings themselves. You see a lot of that still in PGI over the old tile.
Yeah. So my thought is, if we could get something like that done fairly cheaply, then my position would be that we do the windows, which are structural, and then we coat the tops of the lanais, and then we just know that the next big project is going to be a replacement of the lanais. Again, just discussion, but that was my idea.
Yeah.
So let's get the price for that and then work all these prices up, and then we can make a decision. Because right now we don't know.
Right. But I think the the thing that we're asking ourselves right now is which is a bigger priority, the windows or the lanais. I didn't want to go to a lot of trouble to get quotes on windows if we believe that lanais are more important.
No, I mean, windows are more important because, as you say, they're structural. They're causing more damage than the lanais. The lanais are outdoor rooms. I've always been, so what? It leaks a little bit, So I don't have a big issue with my outdoor room leaking a little bit. I do have an issue with my windows leaking a little bit. So I'm definitely on board with windows over lanai. My issue was where the money came from and the fact that three of you are entitled to some of that window money. And, out of all fairness, you saying, oh, well, so be it. And you're one of those people. I still feel bad for you. I don't think it should be that way.
I feel bad for me too. And oh, well.
All right. Well, we're not going to decide today on the windows because we need a final number and we have to see about a number on the spray foam. So I guess at this point, we're going to table the conversation until we have more definite details and a more definite outline of our funding and how much money we actually do have to spend on it.
Are you guys going to get bids? Because I think this is a great idea because I definitely am one of the people who have water around the walls at the window.
I guess we probably have to get bids. However, we've got 3 homeowners that have gotten windows replaced. So basically we have 3 estimates there, plus WSVs who, everybody seems to be getting along well with Josh. I like Josh.
Wouldn't there be some sort of discount with the amount of units that they'll be working on?
So, Mark, you're paying approximately how much?
9.
So Josh's original price was 7 per unit. So that's $2,000 discount. And that was based on doing all of them. It was, yeah.
But I think it puts us in the ballpark.
Because of the number of windows that there were to be done. And $7,000 per unit is an excellent price. Now, whether or not he'll still maintain that same price after seeing the stucco repair work that they had to do on the other building and the potential damage in the walls, we'll see what he comes back with. But I think we should definitely have him hammer out a firm price on the windows and a firm price on spraying the lanai roofs. And so long as they're not out of order, I don't see why we can't entertain them without having to solicit 3 other bids on everything.
Okay.
I agree. I would just ask for the board's direction. Do we want to focus on windows first, or do we want to focus on lanais first?
I like the path, Mark, you're doing. We do the windows and then try to get these lanais coated so they don't leak for a few years. And then,
I mean, he's given us a number on replacing the lanais. We already have that. So
Can you remind me what that was, please?
I don't have it. I can probably bring it up. I have my phone here. I thought it was 36,000, but I just don't know if that was per building or combined. Josh. We'll get Palmer the specs so we can. I spoke with Ricky at Galloway. Blah 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 blah. I will put together a quote for the lanai roofs. I think the best option. Replacing windows.
I guess my big concern is that I don't want WSV to give us a quote that we're not going to even entertain. That's just making them do work that's not going to happen.
No, if we decide as a board to spend the money on the windows, I'm fine with spending the money on the windows. I think the windows are more important than lanais. I'm with you, I think, on that.
And I don't think we're ever going to have this much money again to do this size project again. Unless we have a, what do you call it?
An assessment.
Assessment. That's my concern.
I'm in agreement. I don't disagree. What are we saying then? I mean, I guess we're just saying we want Josh to give us a firm number on windows so that we can more than likely pursue replacing them.
Yep.
Right?
And we're down to 11.
11 units need windows. Okay.
Paul?
Yes.
You still have the old windows?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We may have a leak too.
Yeah.
You may.
Yes.
Do we have
Because
more?
the wall underneath in the upstairs bedroom had some water right there, I think.
I'm sorry, where? Under the window?
Underneath, you know, the windows in the back in the largest bedroom. Underneath that sill there, I think that there was water on the wall when we had to redo it.
Okay.
Are you missing?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask if she knows if they're missing a downspout or not on that unit.
I'm not sure, but Diane may know.
Yeah, I'm missing one.
Who's missing?
2016.
Diane, do you think I'm missing one too?
We're only missing two on the back on our building. That's one down near Joe, in between Joe and the end, and one by my.
Look, hold on a minute. I'm guessing here, or I'm not guessing. Am I hearing that you are reporting a leak that we need to get somebody in to see if it is leaking, not leaking? It's a possible leak. I mean, I'm not exactly.
Yes. Yes, Rob.
All right. So yes, you've had a leak and you want us to get somebody in there to see where it's coming from.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What unit number are you again?
52.
50.
I mean, sorry, 50.
50.
You're saying you have a leak in your rear wall? This is the back bedroom?
Yeah, the one that's on the by the lanai.
That would be the back.
Didn't you have that wall repaired, Brana?
Yes, yes, we did. And I think it was there must have been a leak coming through there.
Since then?
That I don't know.
Because I haven't seen anything since then.
No.
Has anybody been over there during a rainstorm to check?
Well,
No.
not
Diane, have you been over there? Because I can certainly go next door and check when it rains.
Claire, that would be great.
There we go.
So
Mark, I was thinking about yours as well. I just need your code again. I can check on yours.
When are you reporting this leakage from, Rana? When did you, I mean, you're saying, sure, you want us to have it checked. When did you see this?
Before we did the repair, before we had the new carpeting put in, and
So
before we had the roof repaired.
This was over a year ago? You want me to send somebody in there to look for a leak that happened a year ago?
But I haven't been down there since more rain has come.
And you haven't had anybody check it?
No.
I'll check.
I'm not sure
that at work.
Feel right paying somebody to come look for a leak that.
Well, no, don't do that. Wait till Claire takes a look.
Okay, so Claire's going to take a look.
Yeah, yes.
As long as I'm here. If I'm at work, obviously I can't. But next time I'm here during a rain, I'll absolutely go and check your unit for sure.
Well, you can look and there have been rains. You would see evidence of it already.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll check later today.
Okay, that sounds good. And then let me know, and I'll
Follow
Rob
up with me. All right.
That works. Thank you, everybody.
You're welcome.
Mr. Secretary, where were we on the agenda?
Nancy, for sale sign.
Okay. So, and what is she asking us to do? Put a bigger sign out there? Do we know for sure?
I think she just wants permission to put one up.
But she's had a for sale sign up out in front.
Joanna said to me the other day outside that Nancy was upset because she'd been told to take down the for sale sign, that it wasn't allowed from Palmer's office.
It's not one of those tiny ones. It was one of those large ones.
It didn't mean.
But I don't know who ratted on her.
Well, I mean, exactly. It wasn't the board that ratted her. Are we talking, is this a city ordinance? I mean, I would,
yes,
the city ordinance, I don't think we have jurisdiction over that. I mean, I know that our bylaws say no political signs or for sale signs or whatever in the windows, and I don't think I want to change that. I'm all for her selling her place, but I think she's got to do it within the rules that are set before her. Apparently, her neighbor had no problem selling her place, but I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, she's allowed to have whatever signs the city says she's allowed to have.
Yeah, I agree. We don't control the city.
Do we have to vote on that, or what do we need to do?
No. The next thing on the list was termite contract. There seems to have been mention of termites. Do we have a regular termite company come through? Did we used to have one?
I thought, and we pay pest eliminators a monthly fee. I mean, we talked a lot about rats last year and pest eliminators, but in addition to the rats, we also pay them a monthly fee for pest control. I was always under the assumption that would have included termites. I was never part of canceling termite coverage, and we still definitely pay them. I think it's 120 or 150 a month for pest control beyond rats. So I guess we would have to look into it, or have Palmer look into. I don't know what we are paying them for.
You can call Palmer directly or call Pest Eliminators directly. I still have the what looks like, they look like coffee grounds. I still have them, so I can, if somebody from Pest Eliminators wanted to come by. That's the only evidence I found so far. And last time I had this issue, they were flying around. They're not at the moment.
That could be ants too.
Oh, shit. Oh, I didn't think of that. Which is worse.
So I know, Pest Eliminators is responsible for around the exterior of the building. They're not responsible for the interior.
Well, they got in from the outside.
I'm not arguing that point. Bugs are outside. Bugs are everywhere in Florida. And I, as far as I know, we are doing the right thing. We're paying them a monthly fee to control the bugs. If termites aren't part of that, I don't really know what we are paying them for, because there's plenty of mosquitoes and bugs in the lawn. So I guess we should really probably find out what exactly we're paying them for. And if we have a question on whether or not we have termites, then I think that if that's what they're being paid for, they should come confirm that. Right? So
I agree.
We'll contact pest eliminators. Or
I mean, yeah, that's if it is termites. I mean, I can't be the only one. I mean, this is a structural issue.
The termites certainly could be, but the subterranean termites are different than the flying termites. I'm no expert, but I know the subterranean ones are the ones that do the damage, not the flying.
Oh, and they're not flying around, so yeah. Okay.
Well, they'd have to fly to get to the second floor. Or build a tunnel. At any rate, we will contact pest eliminators to see what they do for their monthly fee.
Okay, okay.
We'll follow up on that.
Mark, did you want me to check on your unit as well?
Sure.
I just need to get your code again. So just text me later on.
I'm not going to announce it over the air, but
I just said text me up later on.
Next up, Mr. Secretary.
I believe that is it. The only thing I can guarantee you that immediately after this meeting, Danny is going to call and he's going to want to know, did we vote to put on new gutters? And what I'm going to say to him is that we need a better warranty than
more specs. Yeah, what are they doing with that? I mean, what is the warranty?
Yep.
Is there a warranty?
But I'm sure he'll be on the phone Monday morning. He'll get something with a warranty.
All right.
Now what do we do? Do we have to wait till the next meeting to vote on that? I assume yes.
No, here, I think gutters have been discussed and over discussed and pursued. I'm fine with making a motion of accepting their bid contingent on our acceptance of their warranty.
So, I'll second
that. Basically, we're approving the expenditure of this amount of money so long as the warranty is there. And we can discuss that through email. We don't have to have a special meeting. You know, if we all say, hey, okay, they're guaranteeing that it's not going to leak and they'll come back and fix leaks. That's fine. I don't, right?
Yeah, there's Dan on the phone right now. He's in the waiting room. I'm going to throw him in.
Guys, I have to bow out. My mother's coming over. So thank you for everything.
Well, have a wonderful weekend, Zelda Claire.
Bye, Claire. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Claire.
All right. Thank
you.
So Dan just joined us and we're in the middle of a motion.
All right.
Probably vote yes.
What are we voting on?
The motion was to accept the quote for North Building gutters if we receive a written warranty that is acceptable to the board. That is the motion.
It's been seconded.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. Yeah. Okay. So I guess we need the minutes to reflect that Daniel Waldman joined the meeting at 10:50 and participated in the vote on Cape Coral seamless gutters quote.
What kind of warranty do we need from them so I can contact him?
Well, we want something about I don't know. What do we need a warranty on gutters for? That the water's not going to pour off the
No,
roof?
I understand. I understand. What longevity? We look in a year, 2 years. What do we need?
Well, I'll come back to you, Dan, and say you're the expert on this. What warranty would you want to see?
Normally in the industry is a minimum of 1 year for taking care of any leaks or any imperfections from the gutter, a minimum of a year on the gutters. It's not like a commercial roof like we're having on the condos. The minimum is 20 years. So in that industry, it's that I've experienced, it's a year or two.
Okay, I mean, basically for what they gave us, it doesn't say anything.
There's no problem with that. I'll get that done, and I'll have it sent out on Monday.
I think, Dan, our bigger concern was not the physical gutters leak. I mean, if the gutters leak, they drip down onto the lanai, and the lanai has gutters. Our bigger concern was where they're attached to the flashing.
Of course. Yeah, right. Well, that's still a leak.
Yes,
right.
Still a leak.
Well, I'm going to try to get 2 years on it, and at the minimum of a year. Obviously, we don't want it leaking anywhere, and they'll have to fix it for free for that.
Materials and workmanship.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay, so the motion we just had and that we just voted on was to accept the bid so long as this warranty is acceptable to the board. Once the board receives it, we'll poll the board through email, and providing it's all acceptable to all board members, then we'll pull the trigger and have it done.
And Dan, just a quick question. Did you do any vetting of this company at all?
Did I do any what?
Vetting. Did you call,
how'd you find them? Yellow Pages?
No, online. And I saw testimonials. And no, they didn't do it for me.
Of course, their insurance and licensing will have to be checked.
Right. We'll have them send the insurance and their license. And of course, they're stating their warranty on labor and material.
Okay, and you'll take care of that, Daniel?
I'll take care of it all.
You'll be the guy in charge of this?
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. Thank you. All right. Well, again, good timing, Daniel. And unless there's any other business that anybody would like to bring before the board, I think we're good.
All right. Thank you. I will take care of it.
When do we want to have our next meeting?
August.
August 3rd is the first Saturday in August.
8/3, 10 a.m. Okay, with that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Yeah, motion adjourned from me.
All right.
I'll second it.
Thank you. And I am in favor. All else?
Aye.
Aye.
Everybody have a wonderful holiday weekend, and we'll talk in a month, if not before. Well, we'll talk before through email, right?